work and stuff like that, do you ever worry that things that you've said online or done or political actions that you've taken might be like your daughter might be confronted by them by somebody who has like somebody's kid who has an opposing point of view? I feel like that would like, do you ever worry about something like that?
Oh, she'll definitely be confronted. It's not videos of me having sex online.
No, but you said like
difference.
Tons of controversial things, right? So do you expect that any of that could like have negative effects on her well-being or like how she's raised or anything like that? Or do you think, and I say controversial like neutrally and descriptively, like objectively, if your views are polarizing, that's going to incite conversation, debate, discussion. Do you ever worry about like kids confronting her with these things and her not being prepared to know how to answer them, or maybe feeling like bullied or embarrassed?
Yeah, I mean, that's a factor of being in public life, for sure. Yeah, and hopefully I build her strong up enough to be able to endure that, right?
Then I bet Molly thinks probably the same thing, right? Like, just that sort of resiliency.
Do you think public political commentary is morally on the same plane as filming yourself having sex?
Yes.
Yeah. I think people, if anything, it could sometimes be worse depending on what the person is talking about.
Yeah.
You know?
I agree.
Oh, worse, okay.
I think politics is definitely heavier than porn.
You think politics does more damage than porn?
For the actual life,
100%.
like the world, yes.
Yeah.
Her having sex with other men is not disrupting the world.
Well, no, not just sex, but filming it and disseminating
I think
it.
it actually
that's not
helps
putting
the
the world
world
into
because
shambles.
it gives
For
the
sure.
men a release of their semen that they can't get girls to fuck them, so they go jerk off to me.
Lonely boys.
Have to do, the adult content.
Well, the thing is, I wouldn't have to do it. That would be great, but I would still want to do it. I mean, personally, like, I'm an exhibitionist. I love, like, putting my sexual self out there for other people to see, for other people to, like, touch themselves to, have fun with.
Can I ask you a question? Since you're about presenting yourself to the world, do you have a good relationship with your father?
Okay, here we go.
No, I don't talk to him.
I'm not surprised.
What's going on, everyone? Star Skin here today, and we're going to be analyzing Kirk on the Whatever podcast. Now, you saw from the intro, Charlie Kirk made a quick point about, hey, you have a good relationship with your father, and the old saying goes that, if your fathers keep sons out of jail and daughters off of stripper poles, and there seems to be a very strong correlation with a woman's relationship with her father, or a strong male figure in her life. And if she don't have that, she'll seek validation from other men, and usually it's in the guise of sexuality, because that's the easiest way that women can gain and garner attention from, I guess, people, but men usually. Now, you saw from the intro, there's some debate going on X, and I kind of want to speak on it because I'm kind of familiar with both sides of this stuff, the red pill stuff. Obviously, I'm a millennial conservative, so we're aware of the Whatever podcast or Fresh Fits of the world. There's other ones too, but those two seems to be the popular version of it. And it's sparking a debate online between conservatives and the red pill, and fighting about what is the best way to fix the current ills of the dating culture. So before I go into the video, I kind of want to react to some other commentary and some other reactions to Charlie Kirk's appearance on the Whatever podcast. Anthony Brian Logan says the only reason these porn girls appear on the white version of Fresh and Fit, I think Anthony Brian Logan's making some assumptions there, but hey, I mean, Fresh and Fit is more, I'll call it, edgier than this podcast. So I don't know how it's the white version of Fresh and Fit, but everyone's allowed to have their own perception on the Whatever podcast. Whatever podcast is because they are paid OnlyFans subscribers. They're paid OnlyFans subscriptions blow up after they get dunked on by random Christian conservative guests, and that's a pattern I'm recognizing with Whatever specifically. But I think it's also become a place for debate where, hey, both polarizing sides, and a more interesting show is where you have two opposing ideals and viewpoints and political affiliations debate each other. That makes a more interesting video than to bring in, like a red pill guy. And I think they kind of played out that format enough already. So people are saying, yep. Oh, sorry, I'm not showing you guys the comment section. This is one comment that Anthony Bryan Logan got. He said, yep, they sit there, take a beating, watch the subscribers go way up. Seems counterintuitive. What's the point of the Whatever or Fresh and Fit podcast, really? They're both starting to seem like ads for OnlyFans at this point. And that's been one of the biggest critiques that conservatives have towards a lot of the red pill manosphere content creators, is that they're giving an incentive for these girls to show up, right? Dunk on them, right? Dunk on them. And in the long term, all it does is benefit the OnlyFans woman, because her brand increases. People can become more aware of her. The dudes in their chat pretends that, oh, look at these whores. Oh my God, I'll never marry something like that. But next thing you know, hey, look, Fresh and Fit, my OnlyFans subscribers grew up by 20%, 30%. If she's really good looking, hey, look, I doubled my subscription count. And it seems like, hey, you're leading your sheep to the slaughter, essentially. This is the argument a lot of conservatives are having against the whole Fresh and Fit thing. Hey, yeah, you're right when you say, hey, divorce laws need to change. You're right that, hey, the dating hookup culture is bad for women, and women should take ownership and responsibility for themselves to change it, because hookup culture only exists because women are complicit in it. But at the same time, you're also indulging in it. I always say this. I say Fresh and Fit, they're going down the path of vice, right? Oh, hey, I want to live for pleasure. I want to do this. And usually when you live for pleasure, you want your cake and eat it too. And it seems like Fresh and Fit and the Whatever podcast, they're doing something similar to what feminists are doing. Oh, I want to sleep around, have my fun in my 20s, and at 30, I want to settle down. And everyone's going, oh, how's that fair to the guy? You know, you have more sexual experience than him on average. Right, there's stats out there that there's more single men than single women. I think only 33% of women are single. Young women are single. So there's the idea that, oh, these women are dating older men. So I want to react. I kind of, before I go into the video, this is exactly what needs to happen, because Byron, which is he's been debating like a lot of people on Twitter lately. I seen some him back and forth with Sovereign Bra. I seen some with Layla Grace. Cindy, I'm familiar with Cindy, but I haven't seen them talk back and forth too much. Michael Knowles would be an interesting one. So he calls them tradcons. I challenge Sovereign Bra, all the people I listed, and any tradcon from Daily Wire to debate the red pill on Fresh and Fit. I would either stay a neutral host or be in the debate, depending on what the opposition prefers. It will be Rational Male, which is, he's been kind of like the philosophical the philosophical source of how to articulate their vision of the world. And one thing about the red pill, I think they agree. Not agree. We agree on a lot of the ills of society. And I think, as a father myself, as a conservative with Christian morality, I don't think I can fully agree with some of the prescriptions that they give to young men. I think the most important common ground that conservatives and the red pill have is that how important discernment is, and the idea that, hey, women, you need to be held accountable too. It can't just be, oh, is men not making enough money, that's why marriage rates are dropping, right? When, if you look at stats, marriages with unhappy people last the least. Who more likely to be unhappy, a woman or a man? Women in general are less likely to be happy. So you're saying, like, we're creating all these cultural, dating, psychological mismatches, and we're not giving the proper attention and critique to the side that's more that's perpetrating most of the ills in the relationship game, in the dating culture, and that seems to be women. Now, conservatives like to say, hey, men needs to take leadership. Yeah, but at the end of the day, you can't lead something that doesn't want to be followed. And that's the woman's role, right? If we're taking it Christian or biblical or even a scientific base, if a woman doesn't submit to someone else, she's going to submit to someone. It's like in women's nature to do that. Either she's going to submit to feminism or she's going to submit to traditionalism, right? It's the woman's right to choose, right? And we all submit to something, right? So I don't understand this idea of why submission is such a bad word in modern women's spaces. Sartain, the Andrew Wilson, which I've been recently reacting to his stuff. So I think that would be a good debate. Let's put the two ideas to the test and through debate. Don't back out now. So he's calling up my response. Myron accepted. Challenge accepted. Let's sell it like men. The whole world needs to see. We are not going to California. It makes zero sense for us. Figure something out, or you can sit out the debate. So yeah, Sovereign Bro wants a special consideration. It's a massive miss if you don't bring This Is Foster into this debate. Michael Foster. So as you've seen that, right? Everyone has their opinions on it, and you know, I don't want this video to go too long, but I want to spend about 4 minutes reacting to Charlie Kirk's appearance on the Whatever podcast, and then we can get a better sense of some of the talking points and some of the approaches that I think conservatives can bring into the conversation. And maybe I'll react to red pill stuff. Let me know in the comment section. But let's get into the video.
Dollars. In other words, sex is whatever she needs to make believe it is at the time she needs to rationalize it. It's called whole logic.
Oh.
I wouldn't use that language, but Molly, what I would say is you seem like a sweet person. Maybe something to think about as the years go on, that maybe sex should just be saved for the person you love most. I would ask you or the panel, what would your definition of love be?
Me and the whole panel?
Or just anyone. I mean, that's just the fundamental question with dating, right? Is that a tough question, guys?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, it's a
I feel
very
like love is
complex
complicated.
answer.
See, and before I let them answer, I just want to give a quick point here. The idea that, hey, we should be dating, like, one thing I would say is that too many times women play victim when it comes to dating. Like, this is me just like, because there's a lot of videos criticizing men. Hey, men need a man, and I get all that. But the biggest impact is on the women. I believe is that they date and they don't even know, they don't have a goal on why they're dating a guy. Right? Most of the time, it seems like women date for fun. Oh, I'm just here to have fun, which is what the super chat guy was alluding to. Oh, I just need to rationalize it. Oh, I didn't know it was lead to. It just happened. Oh, you go to a guy's house 3 a.m. and you think you're just going to be there to talk, right? Like they play plausible deniability, and I believe it's to hide the real motive is that they just want to have fun. But then at the same token, after they've been burnt out by their fun, they want someone nice and stable who maybe didn't indulge in that culture, but they think they deserve that guy. You see, it's too much conflicting. Hey, I can have my cake and eat it too, and I think that's the biggest problem. I think a lot of modern women have is that there's not a culture of discipline placed upon them. A lot of the times when people try to hold women accountable for their actions, people are trying to find ways to absolve her of accountability. And I think that's a big part that's missing in our dating culture today. Accountability, and in my view, shame. But I digress. Let's get back.
You know what? Let's go around the
Sorry,
table.
I don't mean to-
Oh, no, it's great. It's
No,
great. It's great. We'll go around the table. Do you want to answer? So your question is, what is love?
Yeah, that's a song too.
What is love?
It's a good song.
Yeah,
It's a good
or
song.
how would you define love? Because I think
How do you
that
define love?
Shouldn't that? Could we all agree that's probably a good goal of dating, to find love? Could we all
Yeah.
agree on that?
Yeah. Yes. So we'll start with you. We'll go around the table. If you guys want to give your answers for that, go ahead.
I feel like love is an emotional connection between two people that value each other and accept each other for who they are. I feel like that's what love is. I feel like real love is when you find kind of, I guess, things you don't like about the person you're with and you still choose to be with them and grow with them either way.
I'll argue that you're always going to find something you don't like about another person because no perfect person exists. And this is the part where I say that I think a lot of people need to learn how to live in reality, right? Living in reality is realizing that you don't find a soulmate. You become a soulmate. Like you're becoming something for someone else, right? Because you learn their patterns, their habits, and then you guys find that compromise and you both strive to meet that ideal compromise. I don't know how I would answer love. I think I'll answer love in a more philosophical sense. But I think love is accepting that, hey, I am an imperfect individual going to marry to another imperfect individual. We're going to have our fights. We're going to have our times of when we can't stand each other. But end of the day, I have a duty, I have a responsibility to love this person. AKA, hey, regardless of what is in my best interest or what is easier for me, I hold that, hey, being in this relationship with this person is more important than what's necessarily in my best interest. It's more self-sacrificing. It's more looking at what is best for the union as a whole. And I think the thing I'm trying to allude to is that I think a lot of women are dating for emotional thrills. Let me know if you agree with me in the comment section below. But I digress. Let's get back into the video.
I feel like that's real love.
I feel like that's more of a romantic type of love. I feel like love is something that's going to transcend just romantic relationships.
Exactly.
And I would say it's like an emotional bond that exists between human beings. And I say human beings just to specify that I don't think it exists between people and things, because I think that's kind of materialistic.
Flan Life, thank you for the gifted 50 memberships. Appreciate it. Sorry, go ahead, Aaron. Go ahead.
Just that I think love is a connection that exists between people, not things, to get away from more like a materialist understanding of like people saying like, I love my car, or I love this item or whatever. I don't really think that constitutes love. But other than that, I would not be able to really define it. It's a question that philosophers have been debating since the beginning of time. I don't know that it'll be answered on this podcast.
Hold on.
For the record, I'm not old enough.
Oh, you're not old enough to be the VP pick. Okay. I thought we had a whatever exclusive here. Charlie Kirk,
35.
the VP pick. Okay. Sorry, Aaron. Go ahead.
No, just that.
Oh, okay. What about you?
I agree with both of them, so I don't really have anything else to add.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. There's different types of love.
here
Obviously,
we
we
go.
don't feel love for our parents the same way we do with a romantic
Sure.
partner, friend.
Or friends, yeah.
Yeah, but with that being said, I would classify love as a deep connection and emotion that you share with someone, and also kind of like really hoping for the best for that person, for who they are and their future.
I won't even say love is emotional either, right? I honestly think it's like love is more action driven for me, right? It's like, for instance, like if you disrespect your husband, you make him look like a fool in front of everyone else, you embarrass him. Can I say you love your husband? You could probably say, yeah, I do love my husband. I care for him, I cook for him, I do this for him. But that's not meeting his requirements for love, because I think a lot of men want to be respected, and respect is a big part of male, I guess, affirmation and love. So if you disrespect your husband, to me, I don't think you love your husband, because you're not respecting him. Well, if the opposite is true, hey, I always make my wife look good in public, this and that and third, but I'm emotionally unavailable, or I'm not emotionally open with my wife, she's gonna say, hey, that's not love. Like, not love, because at the end of the day, you're not fulfilling a need that the other party wants. And I always like to say relationships are supposed to be win-win, where the wife gets something that she values and the husband gets something that he values and care about. And I think what's going on a lot of times is that in our dating culture, we're grooming women, and I think this is specifically a problem that feminism has created. We have groomed women into things that men don't really value as much, right? Women nowadays lead. Their personality is built around their careers, their success, and men don't care about career success. I think men care more about personality and values more than they do career and success, while the opposite is true. I tend to think that women, even if it's not their most important thing, is a big factor of a man's career and success, right? So I think it's going to be an interesting debate if they do have it. Fresh and Fit, I think Fresh and Fit has been like kind of, I don't know, like for some reason guests don't like to go on their show, but I know they're a little bit more controversial than whatever seems to be more like mainstream acceptable. So I think that's why they get a lot of these guests. But I'd like to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you want to see a debate between the Christian conservative types versus the red pill? I would like to hear your thoughts. I want to hear some of you guys whose side you're on, who you think will have the best arguments. I would like to hear all that in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.